Magus, web novel, Chapter 406, Birds of Prey Part 2. Lith exploited the moment she was walking in front of him to check her out. Camila wore a light blue shirt over a knee-length black pencil skirt. She had her long black hair down, which together with her black eyeliner and light red lipstick emphasized her pale skin. For cute, Camila is cute. She could use some weight, though. Her arms are so thin that either she has skipped one meal too many or she has not lifted anything heavier than a fork in a long time. Their table was located along the east wall, right under one of the magical lamps which illuminated the room. The layout of the restaurant allowed the clients to have enough space to guarantee their privacy. "How are you liking Belius?" Camila asked while a blonde waitress handed them the menus. "It's a lovely city. I like how it prevents me from flying, warping, or even moving around without someone tracking my movements. It's a pity there are no bars at every window. It completely ruins the feeling of being held in a prison. It's not a bad place, it's just an acquired taste." She chuckled at the joke. Lith liked her smile a lot. It was warm and sincere, not like the pretentious giggle most girls did to hook up. "I've always wanted to try the haggis. It's a new recipe from the Gorgon Empire that only comes in 2 portions. Do you feel brave enough to venture into the unknown?" Lith knew what it was, just like he knew he wouldn't like it. Of course, mystery is the spice of life. He lied through his teeth. According to Xylo, the haggis was a bread dough stuffed with a mix of boiled vegetables and minced animal organs cooked in the oven. "I'm glad she wants to share a new experience with me. I only wish this dish isn't as disgusting as it sounds." "So, how did you end up a lieutenant in the army? Is it something you always wanted to do or did you somehow stumble into it?" Lith asked. "I'm the 3rd child of a merchant household. My eldest brother inherited the family business by birthright while my sister was forced to marry. I have no magical talent, so it was either joining the army or working as an accountant for my brother. I always liked to study, but my family didn't care much about our education. So I joined the army, failed miserably my boot camp." Camila rolled up her sleeve in a bodybuilder pose which emphasized the lack of muscles in her slender arm. "And when they offered me a desk job, I took the offer. I started as a clerk, but the army provided me the resources to study on my own. A few years later I proved myself smart enough to obtain a scholarship for the Officers' Academy and here I am." "What do you mean with forced to marry?" "My sister is blind from birth." The light in Camila's eyes dimmed at those memories, making her smile disappears. Lith felt like the room had turned several degrees colder. "Let's not talk about sad stuff." She shrugged off her frown and looked at Lith straight in the eyes. "Now it's my turn to ask a personal question. How does it feel being a mage?" "I beg your pardon?" Lith was expecting inquiries about his skills, income, noble status, or maybe a plea to heal the blind sister. The usual routine when someone tried to suck up to him. "I mean, normal people have just enough magic to make themselves a hot tea, while you can fly, warp around the world, kill with a word. All things us humble mortals can only dream or have nightmares about." She made a dramatic gesture, raising her arms in the air before bending forward, like she was worshipping an idol. Lith had no idea how to answer. To him, magic was a mean to an end. He considered it like a hammer, a pincer, or any other tool. It took him a while to find something that sounded like a proper answer. "I don't know if it makes sense, but to me it feels like I'm able to share Mogar's breath. A mage doesn't really command the elements, we just learn through study how to communicate with them. Sometimes, I even feel like I'm just a mirror of the world. I can reflect or alter what it's in front of me, but I can't do anything by myself." Camila was staring at Lith with eyes so wide open that one could think her eyelids had been glued to her eyebrows. A waiter looked at the couple with a puzzled expression. "I know that look, but there's no way the tall guy is the one pregnant." He placed the steaming haggis in the middle of the table and left without a word. "Do I sound that crazy? What's the answer you usually get?" Lith asked while cutting the meal and taking a bite. "I wouldn't know. It's the first time I date a mage." Camila followed suit. "Gods, it's disgusting." She chuckled after swallowing it whole and drinking a big sip of wine to wash her mouth. "No wonder I never saw anyone ordering it. I think it's just an acquired taste." Lith replied, taking another bite and pretending to chew it while he actually sent it to his pocket dimension. "Do you really like it?" Camila wondered if the horrors Lith had witnessed as a student had somehow damaged his taste buds. "No, I was messing with you. It's disgusting. Now I understand why people from the Gorgon Empire are always so cranky. Fancy a steak?" She raised her arm to call the waiter back. "With pleasure." Lith was really hungry. He hadn't eaten anything from breakfast. "I can't believe I'm your first mage, though. Are all guys in Belius blind or what?" Lith knitted his eyebrows in disbelief. His honest surprise flattered her quite a bit. "In case you haven't noticed it, I'm a bit old for marriage. I have no family background, nor I'm rich. Mages can easily achieve a noble title, so they usually aim higher than a grassroots civil servant." Lith had 1,000 things to comment on the subject, but all of them would sound like an attempt to butter her up. "I'll take it as a yes." He shrugged and moved to a different topic. Lith appreciated her not asking him anything about the academy. In his experience, everyone seemed to think that being a survivor was something cool to talk about. Like Balcor and Nalir were just notches on his belt instead of people who stole something precious from him. Albeit in different ways, losing Protector and Uriel had left a scar on him. He missed them both dearly. Lith and Camila kept talking until the head waiter kindly pointed out it was closing time. Lith walked her to the nearest warp gate while hoping for the best. "Thanks for the evening. I can't believe it's already this late. My supervisor will skin me alive if I'm late. Call me. She stood on her tiptoe, giving him a quick goodnight kiss before warping away. Funny, thoughtful, and he didn't brag even once about his achievements at the academy or the king bestowing him a family name. The best part is his eyes. They look so mature one would never think he's so young. Stinginess aside, it's almost too good to be true. Lieutenant Yehaval smiled all the way back home.